Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today, and I hope everybody is comfortable to learn and appreciate how we can develop a website. And we are actually developing a responsive website using only HTML and CSS. So we're going to use a lot of skills, a lot of technologies which, with regards to only CSS and HTML, how you can come up with a professional looking landing page or personal portfolio and responsive enough. So the presentation is reads like this: building a portfolio with a basic HTML and CSS. So before you actually develop a website, the very important thing and the very important most first step which you need is a project plan. You need always to plan your web project. So you need to see and to demonstrate what I'm going to develop. So this is a project plan. This is how the website or a personal portfolio which you want to develop look like. So this is how it will look like. We have a logo and these navigation icons, buttons, and then here for name description and more information like this. And then the social media links. So now we'll do the live coding. But this live coding, there's some elements like in the style sheets. We have some numbers of, let's say height, how much should be the height of a certain element. Some of them I'll just be getting the copy and paste because I've already worked on that. If I'll be doing from like just coding each and every testing here and there, it means it will take the whole day. So I'll just be getting the already working, which I've already worked on it, but I'll be getting each and every element in that format where you can easily understand and follow. So let's go ahead and begin the coding. Now that we have understanding about the plan and we know that this is the project plan we have and we know exactly what we're going to develop, we need to go and start our development. So we will use Visual Studio Code. We have a lot of text editors, but in this presentation, we're going to use Visual Studio Code. So this is what we want to come up with. It should look exactly like this one. So you need to know what should be the first and what should be the last. So you need to first of all open the project. So you first of all have to check that this is my portfolio. So in this regard, we're going to create a new folder, which is like portfolio 2 or personal portfolio. Portfolio. Okay, so that's what we're going to create, a personal portfolio, and then we open it like this. So I'll be using some shortcuts, just to make sure that we do it in good time so that's not boring. You enjoy the presentation. So I'll be doing a lot of some shortcuts. So the first thing we have to come up with the basic HTML page. So the basic HTML page is to have the index. We'll have the index page. Sorry for that. Index.html, like that. And then we need to come up with the basic HTML page. So I say that I'm using shortcuts. So this is a basic page of an HTML document. And now we'll have to come up with the title of the document. So this is personal portfolio. Portfolio. All right. So in the border section, we need to design the structure of our website. That's the first thing. We need to design the structure of our website. And later on, we need to start styling element by element. So we're going to have the section tab like this. And then we'll have the header. So now in the header section, that's where now we're going to have the division. So remember this division, I'm going to use the classes and IDs to style this website. So this is CSS. So I'm just going to define the elements, the IDs. So this is a navigation. Remember, when you are designing a website, you have to make sure that the naming makes sense. You have to make sure that you are naming, you don't just name for something to work, but it also has to make sense. For example, I'm naming the class a navigation to mean that it will be from the navigation area or section of our website. So navigation, like this, and then we have to come up with the links. Okay, so we have the home, and then here we have about. Here we have info. And then we have services. And then we also have contact. Okay, so we save it like that. And now, if you can see this, how does it look? You'll be able to see that this is our navigation now. This is the basic HTML. After that, according to the plan which we have, we need to come up with the second section, which is now the content area. So that's what it means. Within the section tag, after the header section, we have to come up with the content section. So this content section, we need to come up with, so this division class, this will be the content. And now that's the class name. And then within this division, also need to come up with the information. So division, let me say class info. So it means we'll come up with the information right here. So the information goes like this. We have the heading of the one who is developing this portfolio. So it means the personal portfolio name or somebody else's personal portfolio, you can name anybody's name, but now we'll just use personal portfolio. So it will be just personal portfolio. Personal portfolio. So this, and then I'll need to break so that it goes to a new line, just a kind of styling, and then span it. And then we have personal portfolio like this. So after doing this, we also need to have a certain description of this particular person. We should have a paragraph down here. So now we have something like paragraph, and we just need to create some paragraph contents. So just create this, and then we'll need to come up with something like a link for more information. So in case somebody wants to learn more about this, about this particular person, you just need to go here and you say more info. Okay, like this, more info, that's a pattern. Okay, just like that. And then after that, what do we need? We need the social media links down here. So that should also be a separate division. So after this, we go to this and then division. And now we say this division name should be division class media links, media icons, something like that. Yeah, it should be media icons. Okay. And also we need something like this so that whenever we use it on the mobile devices, it should be, fitting well and also showing some responsiveness in nature. And also these navigation links should automatically change to fit the mobile devices. So it will be in vertical order, not in the horizontal, the way they are. So these social media links, icons, could be just a link like this. And you do this, and then yeah, so can just come up with Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, like that. So now, if we were to use these icons, we need to import them from font icon, font awesome. Now, what do? We also need to get the label somewhere here. in the header section under the navigation, we need to get the label, which will show something like this, the label. So label like this, and then phrase like this. No, it should be just a yes. So it will be a label, and then we need just to get the font icons from the internet. We're just getting them from the internet. So how do we do that? It's simple. This is how we do. We go to the browser, and then we just write cd njs, just like that. And after you do that, you just go to Font Awesome, and then you get this one, Font Awesome. You get this link, copy like that, and then you just paste in the header section of your HTML page. So you do this and this like that, or remember to put this inside the link. So you just go this and right there, something like that. That means you have it implemented inside this document. Now we can use Font Awesome. So how do we go that? We just come here, and then we remove this because we're just looking at the Font Awesome. And then we get this. So what do we start with? We start with the bar. We start with this, so it should be here. So that's what we call a bar. And now, so go here, search. It's taking a bit of time, so just write bar, this one. And now we just copy this, and then we paste it here in the section of the label, like this. And now, another thing which I want you to understand here is that we're gonna have to have the menu bar and the closing bar. So all these, I'll have to create them, 2 of them. I'll just have to replicate it. The first one will be the menu button, button. And now the second one will be the close button, like this. So after having these 2, don't worry about the way they look, because I'm not yet styling them. I'm just trying to structure this document because it's what you see here, which will look more beautiful by the application of the cascading style sheet CSS. So then now we have to get these icons now. Go back here, and then we say Facebook, like this. That's the first media icon. We just copy like this. Put it here, you see, and now we get another one. We'll get Twitter, like this. Okay, then we go to LinkedIn. All right, this one, like that. And then we need to come up with Instagram. You can also add YouTube. So put it like this. Now, yeah, this is it. So it means we are now done with our page design. I mean, the frame of a page and whatever content we need, as simple as that. Now it's time for us to come to the CSS part. So just name this style. Style.css. And here we need to get the icons. Font. So we'll use Google Fonts. That's the first thing. We need to get the Google Fonts. So come here, just write Google Fonts. Like this, and get here, and then you go to click, and then I'm gonna use with a lot of fonts. So I'm just gonna use Poppins, this one, and I'm gonna use many sizes. I'm starting with this one. I'm just adding, and also I also need 400. I also need 500, 600, 700, 800, and 900. And now, because I'm using external style sheet, I don't need to copy everything. I just need to copy this import. So I get this, and I have to paste it here. Save. And then I need to style it. So I can now start. So now we need border to go. B0. Padding should also be 0. And also we need font family. So now we're using Poppins. Should be font family. So we're gonna get Poppins like this. Okay, and we remove this. Okay, just like this. This is what we need. So it means we only need this. But now remember, we also need to link this CSS in our HTML document. So don't forget to link it, because otherwise you won't see any effect here. So to link, simply do this, and then you get the CSS file like this. So it's now applicable, it's now being applied to this. And now you go back to the CSS file, and then now we're gonna style section by section. So we'll be starting with section. That's the first part of an HTML document, which we have actually called the class name, the section. Section, this one. After this, we're gonna do header, then links, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna style the section. So what do we want with the section? So this is the entire page actually, if you can take a look at it. So the contents of the section is already defined. I'll just be dragging and dropping them because it's already designed, as you can see. And also for the sake of time, I don't want to be getting one of each and every element of this style. I'll just get it. So we have the section. Of course, we're going to look at the position, width, and display flex position. So what I want to do is just to drag and drop these elements. Okay, so we have the position. You see, all these are the properties of the section. So they applied here. It's like this. Yes. So now we also need the image. Okay, we need the image because that's the background which we need to cover all this page. But now I will uncomment this one so that you see what happens. What I'll do, let me just try to get something. Okay, so I'm actually preparing the image. Okay, I'm actually preparing the image for you. Okay. All right. So without wasting much of the time, let me get you the image. I have to get the image like this. By the way, you have to make sure that you get the beautiful image so that it also helps your website look more beautiful, because the combination of all these is what matters. So you have to save this image like this. I'm sure it should be here now. So I've actually got the image. This image, you can always choose your own image as you wish. So this is mine, which I'm actually using in this presentation. Okay, so this image must be displayed right this one like this. You see, it has covered, but if you look at it, it is not full, full page. It's because of this. So if I comment this, we have it all fully covered, and it's a cover and center aligned, and all these attributes, properties, are actually making this one look the same the way you see it here. So I cannot go in detail as you can see, we don't have much time, but I'll just have to present, because the goal is to make you aware of how you can create a responsive website. Now, section, we are done with section. Now, what next? We come to header. So the header is like this. The header now, what attributes do we need in the header section? Okay, we need to look at what attributes do we need in the header section. Okay, so in the header section, what we actually need is the position and width and display, how will it be displayed, the header section. Remember, you have to be observing what happens. You see the way the links have been aligned here, the notification. But now what I'll do, I'll just copy the properties which I've actually styled here. We have the positioning of the elements. And if you look at it, you will see that it looks at least more different than the way it was looking before. So this is now how the header is looking. Position, these are the elements added. Okay, but we are not done yet. It's just the overall header section designed that way. Now, what is the next step now in this one? So this next step is to design the navigation. So the header, to style the navigation. Okay, navigation link now. So we need to design to style the navigation link. You see, it's not showing more beautiful, so we need to make it more beautiful. So these are the elements for the navigation. So this is how it looks. The background has been changed. Okay, the background has now been changed. As you can see, it's now white. The decoration, this is the underlining, is now removed. And the padding itself, you see the way it looks, the radius, and many others. And now we go ahead and keep styling this one. What will be the next thing? The next thing is to make sure that they are well spaced here. So you use header and dot navigation, and so this is not last child. Yes, so not last child. I hope this has been explained in the previous part 1 of the presentation. So I will not go in detail explaining about that as well. And okay, so after doing this, you can see that the margin now has changed, and you can see the good spacing, and yeah, it now looks more beautiful now than the previous one. So go ahead and then we decide how the hover, when you bring the mouse over it, how should it look like? Okay, so header, navigation, and then we have this, and then we say hover. Okay, like that. Okay, so we're only interested in the background. When you bring the mouse over it, what should be the background color? So this is the background when I bring the mouse on this one. You see, the background color should be like this one. And I have to add the image here, the logo. I need to add the logo so that it looks more beautiful. So let me get the logo for you, and so that you appreciate how this looks like. So the logo will be put in the logo will also be put inside the header section. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see, this is the logo I've put here, and now now we need to put the logo in the header section here of our HTML page. And now how do we do that? We need to come up with the link, hyperreference, like this, and then do this, then img. Okay, img, that's image. So the source of the image. Okay, this is the header. I mean the logo. So like that. Okay, so it means now we're done with that section. You see now how it looks. So the color of the logo is now more attractive, but some things are not well settled here. You can see, but you see how it looks. So now you can see that it's like somebody might feel like it's JavaScript applied or because of some sort of few interactivity, but no, it's just CSS. So let's continue and let's appreciate more and let's come to conclusion to see how this will take us to. Okay, now we are at the navigation where we're looking at how the navigation looks. I mean, we have just given the background color to match with the logo. So now what do we do? The next thing we do, we have to make sure that we settle this one, the label. The label must be well settled because it does not look good. So let's organize that one. So we have a label in our HTML document. That's a label we're talking about here. The first thing we need to do is to display it in a block, and font size should also change. So let me just increase the size if it will look good. It's still not looking good, so it's okay. Let's just keep finalize it. You see, it has now, it now looks a bit bigger than the previous. So now we also need to see what, when I click on this one or when I bring the mouse over it, what will happen. So label hover. So hover. So this is like when I bring the mouse over it, what will happen? So hover, it should still take me to this background color, the one which I've actually used, maintaining the same background color. Like you can see, it's now showing the same background color. And also, we are not done with the label. We need to look at the close button, and we also need to look at the menu. So the label, we're talking about this. Where's the label? This one. We're talking about the menu button, as well as we're also talking about this button. Let me just increase the space so that you see clearly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. Okay, as well as this. This is what I'm talking about. So we go down here, and then you say label, and then looking at this, okay, the menu, menu button. So label, menu button, what happens? It should display nothing, okay? Display the position of it should be absolute position. So let's put it like this. Okay. So it should be an absolute position. Increase the space like this. Yes, now it looks good. I hope you're able to see, but it's doing nothing, right? It's just showing something like this. So we need to see how we can go about finalizing how it can work. Yeah, so now it looks a bit beautiful. The only depending part is the interactivity, a display as well. Let me just tell the display. This is the button, so label. Label, then we have the close button. Close button like that. Label, then close button. Okay, yes. So get it like this. Close button. So display should be none. Let me just write it. Should be none. Okay. All right, so this is the close button. Now we see that it looks a bit beautiful, but we're not done yet. We're still moving about. I mean, we're still going. And the second thing, we'll come back to this. so that it should be interactive, and it should this should be the final part of making sure that it works whenever we click on it. Without JavaScript, remember, we're just using HTML and CSS. And now we're looking at the content now. We have to start the content. So the content, So one will be like, which content are you talking about? We are talking about this section, content. And then we'll style this, and then we'll go to this. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So this is the content. So the content, let's just set the content to be like this. The maximum width of the content should be just this, 650 pixels, and the margin be like this. And then we need now to style the heading of the content. So how do we do that? So to be content, content dot info, then h2, that's the and then we're looking at yes, that's what we're looking at. So this will have these properties. So what is this? This is this one, the whole of it. Okay, it's now showing this one because text transform is uppercase, the color is white, as you can see, letter spacing, as you can see, this, yes, everything like that. And now we also need to span. So spanning, we're looking at this particular part, this one. We need to make sure that this one is a bit smaller so that it should be like a sibling of this one. Thank you. So content and content. So content, then info, content dot info, and dot, we don't need to do, okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at this section. So let's get it. It's content, info, and then this span. Okay, this one, span. So it means content, content dot info, and h2 the span. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So getting that, and then putting this way. Info is not correct spelling, sorry. You see now, the site has now changed, showing that it's a best design. I mean, just trying to play around with it. And then the button now, the information button. I don't know if we have put the button. Let's check if we have put the information button. It should be something here, somewhere here. This one. So we just need to create a class, info, info like this, button like this. Okay. So it's the info button. And down here you say, so it will be like content, and info, info button, yes, like this. Okay, info button, and then you get all these elements inside it. Okay, so we have changed the color, background color has changed. This one, you're able to see it. The background color has changed, and also the decoration, none. This decoration, we're looking at that kind of a link which it has some underlining. So we'll move to that one. Uppercase, as you can see, it's now in uppercase. And yeah, that's it. So now what happens when we hover the mouse over it? So we do the same, we'll go to dot content, dot info, info button, and then hover. Okay, like this. So what happens when we hover the mouse over it? what happens, we just need to have a certain background color. So the background color, I've taken the background color of the, the background here. So that when I put it, you see, when I press the button, it takes at least the tip color down here. All right, thank you. So then we go to the link now itself, content, .info, and info button. Okay, .info, but this should just be info, I think. Let's see. We're looking at these links. I mean, not these ones. Info, this one. So we're looking at styling this paragraph. We're looking at, we want to style the paragraph. So it means this is content, info, then paragraph. Content, info, then paragraph. Like that. So, okay, this, we'll put it like that. You see, this is now white, the background color. You see the background color is white. And also the font size have been increased, and then font weight, and how much from the bottom, I mean the bottom margin, bottom margin. Yes, so now we are done with that. We are looking at this part now, these media icons. Let's style them. So let's begin. Media icons. We have to make sure that it's the same spelling which we have actually defined in our document. So media icons, what do we need? We need this to be on the center and make sure that they have good colors as well as the spacing. So media icons, so get it like this and like that. You see now it's now on the middle, but it's not looking good. There's no spacing it, and the color itself is so interlinked with the background color here. So you need also to style this more, and so it will media icons. We need the link now to style the link. So the link, position, and background color, space, transition, and so on. So now we go to this. You see now we have at least they're more conspicuous, or maybe they're more visible now than the later, than the previous. And also we need to create spaces. So media icons and media icons, these links not. So this is not last as we did, not last child. Okay, like that. And also we need to make sure that we put like this. You see, at least there's now space between these children. So what happens when they when you bring the mouse over it? So media icons. I think we have already done the hovering of the mouth. We're already done with that. So now what do we need? What do we need? What next? What is the next thing which we need to do? Do we do the hovering? No, we haven't done the hover. So it means we see what happens when we bring the mouse over this one. Okay, so the hover should be like this. It should be transformed. There'll be a transform of 1.5 scale. So this is it. You see now what happens? Looks more interactive and more beautiful, professional as well. And on the media icons, we are done because it looks beautiful now. What is the last thing? But before we go to the last, let's have a media query so that is, our website is responsive in mobile devices and also in the desktop computer. So width, maximum width, max width, So this should be 960 pixels. We think that this is a good size. And yeah, so the header, more especially navigation on the header section. Yes. So after doing this, what do we need to do? If you look at this, it looks more beautiful. The only remaining part here is this one. It's not working. How can we make this one work? Remember, there are two bars here, which are the other one is invisible. So we need to check. If you click on this one, these ones should automatically go vertically and with another kind of background. So the easiest way to do that is to implement the checker here, just here. So input type. So this is checkbox. Okay. And the ID for this checkbox is, we just name it check. Okay. Check just like that. And we have to close it. So this ID is like the checkbox, the checker. Where is it? Okay. It should be somewhere. Let's see. Okay, it's somewhere here. Let me try if I can actually open it on the web browser, a big one, so that you are able to see it clearly. Okay. So this is how it looks on the web browser. So this is a checker. You see it? All right, this is a checker I'm talking about. But then the first thing we need to make sure that once you click on this one, we are just trying to test it. It should be, it should tick this one. So how do we do that? We go to, let's go here where we have our label here, this one. So we put 4 and we call the ID name, which is check. Okay, like that. So it means now, once we do this, it will automatically tick this, as you can see, you see? But we don't need this. It's just checking that if this responds, it will be easy for us to make effect to the whole page. Okay. So let's try to design this one and work on this one. Actually, I will remove this one. It won't be visible again. So here we go. Let's start with the checker now. But this one now is only, we're using ID. We're not using a class. So it will be an ID check. AZ. Okay, like this. And also, let's say, for example, if you check what happens. Okay. See, so it displays nothing. This one will no longer be available. We have said that you should not display anything at all. But we know that something is happening when this button is clicked. So there's an action being triggered, like you can see, something is happening. So we need that something to be affected to the whole page, and we need it to be visible. So, and also now we need to, once we click on it, it should display the block. Okay, it should display the block. So this is the menu button. The other one, which is hidden on beneath this one, is a close button. So when you click on this one, it should be able to bring you the close. I mean, you should be able to close it like this one. You see, it disappears. Okay, it disappears. So let's see. If you inspect, and let's do this. This is on the mobile. Okay, on the mobile device. So it's like we're looking at on the mobile device how it works. It's responsive, yes, but it's not yet looking so beautiful as we want. And now we go again. This is the close. After you open it, you should close it. This is the menu. And what next? The next thing which we need to do here is to make the remaining part work accordingly. So let's go here. Okay. There's another element which you have to know and which you also have to take care of. This is box sizing. This should be implemented. You see, as I put that one, it means the other one which disappeared is now visible. You see, it shows like it's one thing, but they're actually two. Okay. And now we also need to check where we have forgotten to put the period, which other people say full stop. Okay, so display. All right. So let's just check where we have actually forgotten anything. Okay, I think we are okay. I was checking the code. The code seemed to be okay. Yes, now it's working. Everything else is perfectly working. As you can see, once I click on this one, it's perfectly okay. The whole code is now working. Yes, so this is how it looks, the final product, the final output. When you click, it looks like this. Okay. When I look it on the browser, what happens? Let me check. This is it. Okay. You see? Yes, so this is actually the presentation, and this is actually what I wanted to present to you, how you can design a professional website using only with HTML and CSS. Remember, you can create a lot of landing pages just with HTML and CSS. Some people, they overlook at HTML and they overlook at CSS, but these are the building blocks of web design. If one is to go into deep web development, these are the recipes or essence of web development. So you have to make sure that you work seriously with HTML and CSS if you are interested to and also be able to practice more on these elements. And also, thank you so much for actually being with me from start to this far. Make sure you take coding as for fun. Don't be too serious. Don't be too simple, but you have to know always what you're doing. And yeah, smart the code sometimes. Take a dip, a bit of sleep when it's, it's boring. You come back and yeah, you refresh yourself. You'll be a good developer. So what I want to say that you have to also to be sure to follow us on the social media to keep up with our upcoming webinars too. If there's some specific topics which you would like us to cover in future webinars, you have to feel free to comment below. And also you have to make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for attending, and we hope to see you in the next webinar. Good luck. Bye.